Right now at 5:30, police have arrested a man after a break-in at a Lexington gas station early this morning. More on their investigation just ahead.
Interesting happening there. Also on WKYT this morning, two leading Kentucky Democrats have announced that they will not be at Fancy Farm, the big picnic this Saturday. That and more campaign coverage coming up this morning.
Dozens of people spent the night outside a new restaurant in Frankfort hoping to receive free food for a year. More on the new Chick-fil-A ahead this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning from WKYT. Welcome in on your Thursday. We can see that weekend in sight, the first one of August. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. Going to have to find out from Micah if we're going to actually have a nice weekend, because it sounded like you're really going to have to, take advantage of those nice periods of time.
There you go. Let's check in with him in our First Alert Weather Center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Unfortunately, it's going to be on and off as we head throughout the next 4 or 5 days. Here's the look outside right now. Not all that bad if you're about to take off early this morning. I see no problems there on the roadways. The rain looks to hold off for most of your morning, and towards your afternoon, that's when it starts to spark up and move on in. Some will see those storms, some will not. Just keep that in mind. And when you do, there's going to be heavy rain, and that's going to cause some problems there on some of these roads because creek streams still a little flooded in some spots. So we just got to keep a close eye out on that today. Now, tomorrow is a lesser opportunity of rain, but the rain chance is still there. And then the weekend, here comes a front for one of those days that'll bring us the rain chance in the forecast. I'll show you which day has the best chance and how you can plan around these, because we got a lot of big events coming up, and that's in just a few minutes.
All right, all important forecast ahead.
New this morning, police arrested a man after an attempted overnight robbery at a Lexington gas station.
It happened just before 2 o'clock this morning at the Shell gas station out on Stanton Way, that's off Newtown Pike. Interesting how it all went down. WKYT's Mark Barber has the details on how the man was caught, and he's joining us live. Mark?
Good morning, Bill. The 19-year-old who police arrested, he would be hard for some people to take down. The man stands more than 6 feet tall, and he weighs 260 pounds, according to jail records, of course. Now, we're told that that was not too much for the clerk here at this gas station, at this Shell gas station on Stanton Way. Investigators say that this clerk stopped Kenneth Hopkins from robbing the gas station around 2 o'clock this morning. Officers say even though the 19-year-old acted like he had a gun, the clerk was able to hold him down until police got here. Investigators did not find any weapons on him. Hopkins is now in the Fayette County Detention Center charged with first-degree robbery. It's the ending investigators wanted to see. However, they did not want to see anyone else taking a chance like this. Police say it's very important to remember that anything can happen in these dangerous situations. They tell WKYT it's always a good idea to let a robber leave after you give them what they want. Now, while police do not recommend taking on a robber the way the clerk did here this morning, they say they are glad that everything turned out so well. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, interesting twist on that one, and we thank you, Mark. 5:33 now. We're tracking a traffic alert in northern Kentucky. The state transportation cabinet says a cattle truck has overturned in Henry County.
The truck was hauling more than 100 calves when it overturned on I-71 north of Campbellsburg. The loose calves are causing a traffic backup in the area, we understand. New this morning, we've learned a Bell County jail employee has been fired after 3 inmates escaped through an open door. The jailer is not releasing the name of that third shift lieutenant. Investigators say a door at the jail was propped open to help cool the facility. They say those 3 inmates escaped through that open door. All 3 have been caught.
We have some new information this morning about a body that was found in a western Kentucky creek. Kim Colston and Doug McKenna say they found the man's body inside a toolbox floating in a Grayson County creek on Tuesday night. Colston has lived near Short Creek for more than 40 years. But after finding the man in the water, she says sleep is almost non-existent for her.
It looked like duct tape wrapped all the way around his face. It looked like he was tied up.
Police say the body has been taken to the state medical examiner's office for an autopsy. They say they expect to release more details once that's completed.
There's been a lot of talk about the University of Louisville's Board of Trustees. Today, the interim president is set to weigh in. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain's at our alert desk with more.
Yeah, an important question and answer session is going to take place today in Louisville. The University of Louisville's interim president will sit down with reporters for about 30 minutes this morning. His name, Neville Pinto, and he is expected to talk about the school's future as a battle over the university's board of trustees is currently happening. Pinto took over as acting president after the board approved James Ramsey's resignation last week. It's one of many changes the school has seen after Governor Bevin removed the board back in June. But 2 days after Ramsey departed, a judge temporarily stopped Bevin's replacement of the trustees. The judge did say his ruling would not affect Ramsey leaving. Now Pinto is serving until a new president is chosen. The question and answer session takes place this morning at 9 o'clock on campus. Back to you, Bill.
Right, and there are lots of questions there. Thank you very much. New this morning, 2 leading Kentucky Democrats have announced they will not be at the Fancy Farm picnic this Saturday. Attorney General Andy Beshear and Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes confirmed that they are skipping the political event in western Kentucky. Beshear and Grimes both cite family commitments as their reasons for not going. Both are planning to attend Democratic events leading up to the picnic. But their absences lend Republicans an even more lopsided advantage on the stage, leaving Lexington Mayor Jim Gray outnumbered for his showdown against Republican Senator Rand Paul. In the race for president, Donald Trump is trying to get his campaign back on track amid signs of turmoil within the GOP.
Yesterday, Trump's own running mate split with him over his refusal to endorse House Speaker Paul Ryan, while another Republican announced he would not vote for Trump in November. Hannah Daniels has more.
Campaigning in Florida Wednesday, Donald Trump sought to refocus attention on rival Hillary Clinton, blaming her for the creation of ISIS.
She should get an award from them as the founder of ISIS.
And tying her to accusations that the Obama administration made a so-called ransom payment to Iran in January. Around the same time, 4 American hostages were released.
$400 million in cash. How does the president do that? How do you do that? This was something all started by crooked Hillary Clinton.
The attacks came amid signs of a deepening rift between the GOP nominee and members of his own party. Yesterday, Illinois Representative Adam Kinzinger became the latest Republican refusing to support Trump in November, angry over his feud with the Gold Star family. Trump's own running mate Mike Pence also split with him and endorsed House Speaker Paul Ryan.
I strongly support Paul Ryan, strongly endorse his reelection.
A Fox News poll out Wednesday shows Trump now trailing Clinton by 10 percentage points nationally. Speaking at a Denver-based tie company, the Democratic nominee attacked her opponent's business record.
I really would like him to explain why he paid Chinese workers to make Trump ties. This is one of them. It's got his name on it, of course.
Today, Clinton will continue to talk about jobs and the economy at an event in Las Vegas. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
Donald Trump will campaign in Maine today. One silver lining for his campaign, the billionaire candidate reportedly raised $82 million in July, mostly from small donations. The Clinton campaign raised about $90 million. Well, a happy birthday to President Barack Obama. He turns 55 today. There's no word yet on any official birthday plans, but yesterday the commander-in-chief did get serenaded at a summit for young African leaders. Police have arrested a Central Kentucky jail employee after they say she admitted to having sex with an inmate. Daphne Kelly is a pretrial officer who has an office at the Clark County Detention Center. They say she had sex with inmate James Bussell while he was on work release from the jail. Police say the two would meet at a friend's home on Ashland Avenue. Investigators tell us their relationship had been going on for months.
She claimed that she had known him prior to his incarceration and that they struck the relationship back up once he was incarcerated here.
Police charged Kelly with third-degree rape because as a pretrial officer, she had authority over Bussell. Kelly is now at the Woodford County Jail, and police say she's resigned. Police charged Bussell with escape. He's also facing a promoting contraband charge because police say he had a cell phone that he used to contact Kelly.
This morning, the Kentucky Historic Properties Advisory Commission will be meeting to discuss the use of the Capitol Rotunda and the controversial Jefferson Davis statue. The statue of the Kentucky-born Confederate president has been in the Capitol Rotunda since the 1930s. Over the last year, several groups have tried to have the statue removed, while many have fought for it to stay. Just last month, one group asked the state's curator to give the statue a military designation, which would make it harder to remove. Another group said the statue should be replaced with one of Muhammad Ali. Today, a Scott County judge could make a ruling in the Attorney General Andy Beshear's case against the Georgetown cemetery owner. Beshear brought a civil lawsuit against Dale Shackelford and Crestlawn Cemetery back in May. The case came after Beshear said he received complaints that headstones and other items had not been installed and that the cemetery was not being maintained adequately. Beshear is asking that Shackelford and the company fulfill all outstanding obligations or provide full refunds to customers and pay civil penalties. Shackelford failed to respond to the suit, prompting Beshear to file a motion for a default judgment. The hearing for that is to be this afternoon.
People in a Powell County neighborhood say they are tired of waiting for answers after an oily substance was spewed out onto their homes. On Monday, a lightning strike caused the substance to spew from a natural gas substation owned by Kinder Morgan. At a meeting last night, people from the neighborhood, along with the county, some of the leaders there in the county, voiced their concerns that that oily substance could be dangerous.
If they tell me not to wash off my feet when I walk outside, not to let my dogs go outside to use the bathroom, not to eat out of our gardens or use our water, then that tells me it's unsafe.
A Kinder Morgan spokesperson says that advice was given simply as a precaution. She says they think the substance is a mixture of natural gas condensation, compressor oil, and water, which employees work with every day. Today, the company expects to get results back from a third-party lab to determine whether or not that substance is dangerous. I can imagine that they're on pins and needles waiting to hear that.
You know, just waiting for some kind of solid answers. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, dozens of people spent the night outside a new restaurant in Frankfort, hoping to receive free food for a year.
And for the doors to open up. This is a live look this morning of the people who are lined up right now outside the new Chick-fil-A in Frankfort. The restaurant opens in just a few minutes at 6 o'clock this morning. The first 100 people in line will receive one free meal a week for a year. They passed the time last night by playing volleyball, some of them dancing, trying to have a good time. Interesting times over there as they get ready for the first Chick-fil-A in the capital city.
Here they go. Look at them go.
They got the moves.
Cutting a rug, okay. All right.
5:42 now as we check live drive traffic for you on this Thursday morning. Let's see what is going on out there.
A whole lot of nothing, really, apparently, according to the map. Things going good. Hey, and that's always good to hear. No complaints from me. And here's a look at the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government's live drive cam at Tate's Creek and Manowar. Drive
time should be about normal. Heavy traffic noted this morning on I-75. Folks, probably getting back from their summer vacations and so forth, getting ready for a
vacation.
School start.
What's that?
And so forth.
What's that?
It's something some people do take a break in the summer. Good to have you along on WKYT this morning here on August 4th. Glad you're along.
A man in Spain is the first to catch them all. More about his Pokemon Go quest when we come back.
Still looking at that chance of rain later on this afternoon. It's a stormy forecast in store for today. Like I said, some will get it, some will not. I'll show you who I expect to get that and that 127-yard cell forecast is coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Looking at Defender Radar Network and nothing going on this morning. Kids going out to school, if you're already in school, or if you're starting off today. Good luck to you guys. I hope everything goes well for the first day of school. But let me tell you this, by the afternoon, better be prepared with that umbrella, trying to go pick those kids up, or a raincoat, because here comes the rain. It'll slide on in later on today. Not much showing up right now. I know it's not very impressive, but once it gets its act together, here in the next few hours, 3 to 5 hours, you'll start to see that sprout up, and then it moves toward us as we get into your afternoon. So anywhere from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. is your best bet at some rumbles of thunder. So heading out to school, no problem. Coming back, there could be a few issues. 87 degrees for a high this afternoon. But let me tell you this, some see the rain, some do not. If you do see the rain, it's going to be pretty heavy rain too. So that could lead to some possibility of some flash flooding. That's what we have to focus in on today is some flash flooding, isolated spots like the past few times. Not everybody gets flash flooding, but where you do, it's caused some problems, that is for sure. A storm or two there for Lake Cumberland raft up this weekend. If you're trying to head out to the lake, maybe it's the last go at it, the last weekend before school starts next week for virtually all of us next week. So if you're heading down there, know this. Friday, a storm or two is possible. That is not going to rain out your plans. I promise you that. Take off Friday, take off even Thursday if you want to, take off today. But nonetheless, a storm or two is possible for your Friday rather. Then we head off towards Saturday. Saturday storms will be around. That's the raft up day. It starts at 10 a.m. It's going to be out at Conley Bottom Resort there on Lake Cumberland. So just keep in mind that storms will be around during that time. It's unfortunate a front is going to be making its way through, and that looks like a pretty decent chance of rain at 60%. Pretty nice one there on Sunday, as nobody has a chance of rain on Sunday. So Friday, Sunday, those look like the drier days, but Saturday when you actually have the raft up, it's 87 degrees with storms around. So just keep it in mind. But man, getting out to the lake one last time before school starts. Kids head back to school. Here's your 7-day forecast. 60% chance of rain today. 40% tomorrow. Tomorrow's mainly east of I-75. And then Saturday, guys, that's your best chance. Really your only chance there for the weekend. And things look pretty good. Starting off next week, it's not all that bad.
All right.
We'll take it.
Good little pattern here.
We'll take it.
With the rain.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. It's 5:48 now.
Well, he's the first person to catch them all.
Right, a young man from Spain has captured all 145 Pokemon. David Quintana spent the last 22 days and nights crisscrossing the city of Elk on his bicycle, all while he was chasing Pokemon on the Nintendo smartphone game that has taken the world by storm. The 21-year-old has claimed the title as the first player in the world to catch them all, beating American Nick Johnson, who caught all 142 Pokemon available in the U.S. Quintana claims he caught the 3 Pokemon that are only available in certain continents by hatching them from eggs. Okay.
I'll take his word for it.
Whatever that means.
I'm sure all you Pokemon Go players out there know exactly what that means.
But we'll say a big congratulations to him. It
Yeah, good for him.
seems to be an important accomplishment.
Things to aspire to in life. Definitely. Coming up, you'll get the stories making news right now.
We'll take a look at the traffic this morning, see how things are moving along. We have health news, a lot more, and it's great to have you with us on WKYT this morning. Good morning. Welcome back into WKYT this morning. 5:53 is the time, bright and early on your Thursday.
Definitely early. That's
It
for
is
sure.
that.
Let's take a look at some of the stories we're working on for you at this hour.
Our news team is busy this morning. Police have arrested a man after an attempted overnight robbery at a Lexington gas station. Happened just before 2 o'clock this morning in the Shell off Newtown Pike. Investigators say Kenneth Hopkins walked into the gas station implying he had a weapon. They say the clerk stopped Hopkins and held him there until police got there.
2 leading Kentucky Democrats have announced they will not be at the Tennessee Farm picnic this Saturday. Attorney General Andy Beshear and Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes say they are skipping the political event in western Kentucky. Beshear and Grimes both said they have family commitments as their reasons for not going. Donald Trump is trying to get his campaign back on trail amid signs of turmoil within the GOP.
At a rally in Florida yesterday, Trump criticized Hillary Clinton's foreign policy record, labeling her the, quote, founder of ISIS. The attack came on the same day Trump's running mate, Mike Pence, split with him and endorsed House Speaker Paul Ryan in his re-election bid. Illinois Representative Adam Kinzinger added his name to the growing list of Republicans no longer supporting Trump, following his feud with the Gold Star family.
Authorities in London are investigating what led to a stabbing spree Wednesday night that left a woman dead. Several others were hurt when a 19-year-old man armed with a knife attacked people at Russell Square near the British Museum. The man, who may be mentally ill, is in police custody. They say it could be terrorism, too.
A Washington transit officer is facing federal terrorism charges for allegedly trying to provide material support to ISIS. Authorities say 36-year-old Nicholas Young bought gift cards worth over $200, intending to give them to ISIS operatives. Young is the first American law enforcement officer ever to be accused of aiding the terror group.
Now on to today's top health stories.
Immediate aggressive chemotherapy may not be necessary for all patients with advanced kidney cancer. Researchers from the Cleveland Clinic found patients with slow-growing cancer can live for months, even years, without the disease getting worse, if they did active surveillance or close monitoring. Researchers say in some cases it can spare patients the debilitating side effects of highly toxic anti-cancer drugs.
Simple texts seem to help dieters keep the weight off. Researchers in England say obese teens who received text messages that reminded them of their commitment to eat healthy were 8 times more likely to keep their weight down compared to teens who did not receive the texts. Interesting.
All right, good.
Little reminder helps.
Support, right.
Let's get a check right now on today's traffic.
See what's going on with a live drive check here at 5:56 this morning. Here is a look at travel times into Lexington, and they're about normal. Everybody moving along fine this morning with about average speeds. Everything looks good. Here's the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government live drive camera now at Tate's Creek and Man of War. And folks are moving along there.
Is this one of the areas, Bill, that you said was so busy this morning?
That one's not all that busy, is it? No, it was the interstate. It was a little bit busy this morning.
Well, you said you didn't know if it was 4 o'clock in the morning or in the afternoon.
Yeah,
It was
right.
so busy.
It was a lot of traffic, at least
where they were
at
going.
that time. You never know. People are moving along, getting ready for the weekend.
Yeah, maybe getting a start on their vacation. Yeah, what do we know about vacation, Micah? A lot, right?
Yeah, right. That's exactly right. Defender Radar Network, here's the look outside, and nothing going on right now. But I'll tell you this, once we hit the afternoon, look for scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. So it was pretty quiet this morning, actually a pretty good start to the day. By the afternoon, 87 degrees with those storms around, and watch for heavy rain that could lead to some flash flooding. If you're about to take off, have a great day. And if your kids are heading back to school today, I hope it goes well for them for their first day of school. We'll have much more coming up. Another hour of WKYT News.